As you have seen in the previous class, we were discussing design of doubly reinforced beams. So I'll just go through that one once again. I'll go through the previous class, whatever we have discussed. And what you should do is don't type anything right now after 10-15 minutes because some fellows are typing in the beginning and they are disappearing later. So you have to type when I tell you to type, you type. Otherwise, you remind me after another half an hour. You can remind me after half an hour that you can the chat box. See, when I tell you to type, you just start entering your attendance in the chat box. Now you can see in the previous class, you should understand the difference between design and analysis of doubly reinforced beams. The common thing in both the cases is you need to find out FSC value. That is common in both the cases. That is stress in the compression steel. You have to find out. Usually, as I told you, you have to use table F of SP16. So in your syllabus, they have clearly mentioned SP16 is permitted in the examination hall. However, I'll tell you the one more method also later on. So let us concentrate on design part. Let us not worry much about FSC calculation by other methods. Let us say that I'm getting the table F and I'm going to use that one because the time required to calculate FSC they are trying to reduce it because that is there are so many methods practically. One of them is SP16 method only. So let us go back and see this one here. I'll just share the screen. I'll go back to the previous class sorry, slides, and if there is any question, you're allowed to unmute and you can ask. There is no problem in that because there is always a guarantee of a doubly reinforced beam in the question paper. Probability is very high comparing to compared to singly reinforced and T beams. The probability of doubly reinforced beam design, whether it is a cantilever doubly reinforced or whether it is a simply supported doubly reinforced, there is a probability is very high in the examination. So let us see how to design this one. Now you can see this one of the important calculations is how to use SP16. See, if you want to score full marks in this subject, it is possible only when you know how to use SP16 tables. Only 5 to 6 tables are enough. You don't have to study the entire SP16. At least 5 to 6 graphs, 5 to 6 tables, if you can understand and use it in the exam, a lot of time you can save. You can attempt all the questions. Otherwise, a calculation takes is going to take more time. So that is why I'm telling you, try to understand how the SP16 tables are used. So whatever portion that I have covered in the previous class, you can see there, I'll be going fast now because today I have to explain how to use SP16 tables, which tables are useful for doubly reinforced beams. So here you observe, I'll be fast now here in case of whatever portion was covered, I'm just revising it. Now observe here. Usually you have to assume the dimensions, but sometimes they are giving in question paper, they're giving the dimensions directly. Okay, some thumb rules are there. You can use some thumb rules. 230 is 230 to 250 is the width. Okay, depth depends upon span by depth ratio and whether the beam is simply supported or cantilever or fixed or continuous. So in this particular subject, either it will be cantilever or simply supported. Sorry, here, okay, that is why if you know the span by depth ratio, you can find the trial depth. You must understand that design is always a trial and error method. Okay, you cannot say that this is the dimension, this is fixed. It is not like that. Using thumb rules, you start with the preliminary dimensions. Use thumb rules and start with some dimensions, because even to finalize those dimensions, some thumb rules are there. Use them. Usually, we can say B is 230 or 250 millimeter. Usually, and the depth is governed by span by depth ratio. But in the case, usually in case of W reinforced beams, when they are asking you to design, normally they are giving the dimensions. Now you have to use this formula. Remember this one, mu is equal to mu1 plus mu2. If it is a design problem, if the problem of doubly reinforced beam has appeared in module 3, in module 3 if it has appeared means it is a design problem. There you have to use mu is equal to mu limit plus mu2. Mu1 has become mu limit. In analysis, it remains as it is, mu1 plus mu2. Only change is this one. It means you should remember mu is equal to mu limit plus mu2. In the design problems, you have to find out mu, which is WL square by 8 actually. Even though this is moment of resistance, but I'm going to equate maximum bending moment. That is, I'm going to substitute mu is equal to whatever value I'm getting from WL square by 8 or WL square by 2 if it is cantilever. So I'll be knowing this one. Then mu limit is also fixed 0.138 FCK BD square. So you just have to find out mu2, and mu2 has must be used two times to find out AST2 and ASC. So what you should understand here is I'm going to use the value of mu2, which is mu2 is equal to mu minus mu limit. That value I'm going to use for finding AST2 and ASC values. How I have already told you, it is once I will use one of the couple, that is Cu2 into D minus D dash, where Cu2 is FSC into ASC. Using Cu2 into D minus D dash, I am going to find ASC. Okay, and how to find AST2? I am going to use Tu2 into D minus D dash. Tu2 into D minus D dash is equal to Mu2. Thus, Mu2 is used two times to find out ASC and AST2 values. How do you find AST1? AST1 is found out by using mu limit. You calculate mu limit by using 0.138 FCK BD square. Now, mu limit, once it is calculated, now you have to use another formula of mu limit, that is 0.87 FY AST D minus 0.42 XU limit. In that one, AST1 will be there. That is what I have done in the previous class. Observe here. So these are the steps that whatever I explained just now, what to do and all. See this. Determine FSC using D dash by D ratio. There are so many shortcut methods are there. Try to understand the full-fledged example, how to solve, then think of shortcut methods. So this is what I have done here. I started with FSC calculation, FSC 50 by 550, 0.09. Next closer value, next higher value in the table F was 0.1. So 0.1 and FE415. For these two combination, FSC was 353. Determine the factor load and all. We have calculated the load. Imposed load was 50. Dead load was 3.45. Added, multiplied this number by 1.5 to get factor load, which was 80.175. Then WL square by 8. WL by 2 also can be calculated. Now I'm going to calculate mu limit. You can see for FE415, it is 0.138 FCK BD square, 181.9. Now you can see here In the problem, dimensions are already given, you cannot change it. Now 181.9 is this 250.6. So actually the beam is subjected to a bending moment which is more than that can be resisted by a balanced section. Balanced section of this dimension 230 by 550. A balanced section of these dimensions 213 to 550 is capable of resisting 181.9 only, whereas the beam is subjected to a bending moment 250.6, which is much more higher than what a balanced singly reinforced beam can resist. So this is a case where I have to go for doubly reinforced section. There are two options here. If I want to still maintain this is you want to design this one as a singly reinforced only, I have to change the dimensions. I have to increase the dimensions. Automatically this value will be increased. It may become more than 250.6, but which is not allowed in this problem because the dimensions are given in the problem, it is fixed. When you compare this one, when you compare mu with mu limit, then only you will decide that I have to design a doubly reinforced section. In the problem, they have not mentioned it. It is not given whether you are supposed to design singly reinforced or doubly reinforced. When you reach this point, and when you know that the dimensions are already fixed, I cannot change the dimensions, then only you have to say, I have to design a doubly reinforced section. Next. Now, here, sorry, here what I'm doing, I'm using a standard equation for design. Mu is equal to mu limit moment capacity given by the balanced section plus mu2 because it is a doubly reinforced beam. Since it is doubly reinforced beam, steel is there in the compression zone also, the second couple has appeared. So mu is equal to factor 250.6, mu2 is equal to this minus this. Mu minus mu limit is mu2. Okay, next is XU limit and all we have calculated. AST1, observe here, as I told you, the main calculations are AST1, AST2, ASC values. How to find AST1? Now mu limit is calculated here, 0.138 FCKBD square. That value is substitute here. Then on the RHS, use this formula. See this. XU limit has to be used because I know that mu1 is nothing but mu limit only. So with respect to this, don't try to find out actual XU. Don't substitute here, it will be wrong. In the design, we have to deal with only XU limit values. You are not going to check whether the section is under reinforced or XU and XU limit values. No need to calculate all that. Here simply use 0.138 FCKBD square and find out mu limit. Substitute here. On RHS, find out AST1. AST because XU limit is already 0.48 times B. Rest all values are already given. Find out AST1, which is 1211 mm square. So in this way, I'm able to find out AST1. Now AST2 and ASC, how to calculate is use mu2 for that. For both these calculations, LHS is mu2 value. So mu2 is 58.6, I think. 58.6 into 10 raised to 6 is mu2. So first what I will do, I am going to find out AST2, which is 0.87 Fy AST2 into D minus D dash. See, when you are using mu2 in LHS, the lever arm is D minus D dash. Don't get confused with D minus 0.42 XU limit. This lever arm is for singly reinforced section. For mu2, the lever arm is D minus D dash, force into lever arm. So again, you can see here, LHS is 58.6, which is mu2. RHS is all this. AST2 has to be calculated. Find the value of AST. Okay. Now calculate AST value. Till you find AST, till you add these two, don't worry about the diameter and number of bars. because it has to be checked against minimum values again. That is next step. Again use MU2 and find out ASC. Now it is CU2 into liver R. This was TU2 into liver R. You can see this one. Again and again I am repeating this. This is TU2 into liver R. When you are finding, now this is CU2, you can see this is CU2 into liver R. Okay, once TU2 into liver R, again CU2 into liver R. If we use this one, keeping LHS as MU2 value, you are going to find AST2 and ASC values. So this is how it is done. Any questions are here? Okay, this is it clear, this one? I think I lost that page here, but anyway, you just see this one. Now observe this one. This I'm not going to repeat it because see, the way you design the shear reinforcement in singly reinforced beam, the procedure is same here also. That is, find out VU, find out the shear capacity of the beam. We use it TOC into BD. TOC depends on PT and the grade of concrete. So AST. Now when you calculate this AST, you should understand if the bars are bent up. Let us say there are 4 bars, 2 bars are bent up near the support. You have to use 2 into pi by 4 here. Actual bars are there in the tension zone. The bars which are not bent up, that those bars area should be used here. Not all 4 bars are. The bars are not bent up only, then you can use all the 4 bars. So this is one thing that you need to understand. Finally, calculate TOSI. So shear is not required because the bent up bars and shear of capacity of concrete is enough to resist 200.4. If you just bend the bars up 2 bars and whatever concrete with the main reinforcement without stirrups only, the shear capacity is crossing this value. If that is happening, you have to just say I'm going to provide nominal stirrups. Say 8 mm bars at 300 center to center. Nominal stirrups can be provided. Now next is now observe here. This is very important calculation of today. How to use SP16 and reduce your calculation time in the examination. Practically everybody uses. You go to any office, you go to any structural engineer's office, all these pages are used because it reduces the calculation time drastically. See this, how it is used, observe. Now what I have done here is, I have opened a table with respect to doubly reinforced beams. If it is singly reinforced, the table number will be different. Now observe here how to calculate. What exactly I'm going to do with this table is I'm going to find ASP and ASC values. AST and ASC values without wasting time. Whatever I use the formula over there, I don't have to use any of those formula here. Directly I can find out the values of ASC and AST, not AST1, AST2. That calculation will be there, but at least 60 to 70% of calculation time will come down. If you know how to use those SP16 tables, if you want to attempt all the questions in the examination, you have to use SPC. Otherwise, you end up solving 4 problems. 5 modules are there. You end up solving, even if you know all the answers, you will not be able to finish in 3 hours if you don't know how to use SP16. Now observe here. What I am doing here is, now let us see, I have to find out the values of AST and ASC values. I'll take you back to that particular page here. See, but it will not be same. Huh? Slightly, there will be different values, very close to the values calculated. Now, how much is AST? 1508. You try to remember this number 1508 or write it somewhere. 332 is ASC value. It means I have done all these calculations, so many things I have done, and finally I have arrived at this value. I have arrived at this number. Here also, after so many calculations, I have arrived at, let us say this number. Okay, this one. Now using SP16, without these calculations, I should find out 1508, very close to this. It will not be exactly this number. And another value ASC very close to this number. If I can do that, no examiner will object. You have to clearly mention I used table number so and so of SP16 and I have found out. It means you may not get the same number 1508, but you will end up with a number which is very close to this value. Again, ASC will be very close to this value. If they are not very close, means some calculation error may be there in my calculations. We shall see that one. Now observe here. Now what I will do is how to do this one, how to use. Now observe this. Why this table is selected? Why not any other table? Now observe here. First thing is you should look at this combination. On this page, I think this page number also I'll tell you now. 86, design aids for reinforced concrete. Means SP16, 86 page number. Why I have opened this page only? Because in this problem the combination is 415 and M20. If the combination is different, the table will be different. Since it is clearly given, use Fe415 M20 concrete. That is why I have opened this table 50 and clearly read this one. Flexure means bending, reinforcement percentage for doubly reinforced sections. So first condition is the material combination. The material combination, whether it is matching with whatever is given in the data or not. So here it is 415 and 20. I have reached this place. Now table 50, because it is doubly reinforced section. It is doubly reinforced section. Now the table identification is over. Then how do you find out? How do you find out ASC and AST values? Now observe this. Okay, observe here. This is the calculation actually. In examination, what you will be doing, I am giving you now. You'll be having that codebook SP16 with you. Observe this. Use of SP16 for calculating AST and ASC in case of doubly reinforced beams. Observe here. Right? Tables in SP16 are based on grade of steel and concrete. So the combination of materials. For example, Fe415, M20, there will be one table. Again, if it is Fe500 and M20, there is one more table like that. Combination. So refer table 15, page number 86. Because see, for example, if the material combination is Fe415, M20, what I should do? Refer, this P means it is cancelled. No? This is not there actually. Refer table 50. When to refer table 50 is Fe415 M20 on page number 86. And for Fe500 and M20, this is one more combination they are giving in the examination. Usually they are keeping the concrete same M20. They are trying to change Fe415 and Fe5 in the question paper. So if that is happening, what you should do? Refer table 53 on page 89. That is also there in this. I'll show you that one. But since I am doing with the first combination in this problem, that table is also there in this 12 pages, whatever I have downloaded. Now in the example, see this, in the example, how to find out, observe, how to use this table, carefully observe here. First thing that you should do is calculate mu, which is WL square by 8 in this problem, 250.6. Then you calculate one constant. Constant means one value which is this one. Observe this. You calculate a term which is, we call it as mu by BD square. Calculate mu by BD square. This number has to be calculated. So this is the actual bending moment that the beam is subjected to. Okay, after calculating dead load, live load, everything, factored load. This value of 250.6 must be used in mu here, divided by BD square. So 10 raised to 6, because I want it in Newton mm. 250.6 into 10 raised to 6, because these two are in millimeters. Okay. So finally, millimeters, Newton mm, these are all mm. So 3.601. Now what you should do is, once you find 3.601, open the table 50 and start searching in the first column, where is this 3.6? Because mu by BD square in this problem is 3.6. So what I will do is, I need to check the value of 3.6 in the first column. Vertically you check it, the vertical column, it is first column, corresponding to d dash by d is equal to 0.1. So these two are important, that I will show you now. I will show you that one. Observe this one. What I should do, I should check 3.6 wherever it is. Okay, corresponding to 0.1. How to see this? Now you remember 3.6 and 0.1. Remember 3.6 and 0.1. Now look at this table carefully. You look at this 415 and 20. You must see this one first. Randomly you cannot choose any table. Now you see this one, top 415 20 combination 3.6. You can see the first column is Newton mu by BD square. In my case it is 3.6. You have to interpolate it if it is not there. Now it is there only. In this problem it is there. 3.6 is here, see. 3.6 is here. Are you getting this point? Is it clear, this one? See this. mu by BD square is column number 1 in this table. Go on searching 3.6 wherever it is. If it is not there, I told you, you have to interpolate. That problem you can study later on here. Now it is directly available in this problem. Luckily 3.6. Then what is next? Next is d dash by d. You have to check. You cannot choose these columns. This is PT and this is PC values. Percentage tension steel, percentage compression steel. This, but you cannot use, because d dash by d is 0.05. So these values refer to when the d dash by d is 0.05. But in our case it is 0.01. I mean 0.1. See, 0.1. So you should leave these two columns. First column is common. It is common. You have to check this one for mu by BD square 3.6. Which other two columns I should select? It depends upon d dash by d. Now d dash by d is here 0.1. In our problem d dash by d is 0.1. Now what I will do? Okay, now this is d dash by d. That is, first column is 3.6. Second and third you leave it. Fourth and fifth column you go there. Fourth and fifth. This is fourth column. Now you see this PT. Okay, I'll do this. I'll do like this. Now observe this. Which value I'm going to check? Observe here. 3.6 PT, percentage tension steel 1.24 1.214 1.214. PT is equal to 1.214. If you want, you can write it somewhere. because I'll be going to the last page after this. 1.214 is PT and percentage compression steel is 0.271. So directly we got these numbers without any calculation. I have calculated only mu by BD square, and I know that d dash by d is 0.1. I know that I have to use table 50. If you can understand this much, a lot of time is saved in the examination. Now observe here, after this, how to find AST and ASC. Now what I will do, using 1.214 and using 0.271, I'm going to find AST and ASC values. Then you have to think about AST1. That is very simple actually. First calculate AST, then think of AST2 later on. Now this is giving you, this SP16 is giving you AST value directly, because PT is equal to 1.214. That is AST by BD into 100 is equal to 1.21. In that one, you can find AST. That I will show you. Then this one, 0.271 means ASC by BD into 100 is equal to 0.271. So calculate ASC because PT is already there, no? Okay, just see this. Remember these two numbers, 1.214, 0.271. Try to write them in there because with respect to that only I'll show you now. That is 1.214.271. That is PT and PC values. PT and PC values. So let us go to this page. Wherever I have done the calculation, see this. Now observe this one. How it is done, observe. Now I know that PT is 1.214, PC is 0.271. From PT 1.214, how I am getting AST? See this part. AST by BD into 100 is equal to 1.214. Therefore, AST is equal to 1.214 into B into D divided by 100. Okay, 1.214 into B into D divided by 100 will come here in the numerator. You end up with 1535.7. 1535.7. I'll show you. I'll show you how much it was with the using formula. Then we found out ASC by BD. ASC by BD. Again, ASC by BD because PC was calculated, just it was checked in the table, it was 0.71. Now ASC by BD into 100 is equal to 0.71. Again, substitute everything, that is B and D same values. Find out ASC. It is 342.8. This is 1535.7. If you remember these two, actual calculation 1508332. I told you they are very close to these numbers. They are very close to these numbers. Now you can see here. Now you can see this. So this is very close to the which was calculated using the formula. Okay. Now this is also very close to the value. Now from this one, once you calculate AST, directly you can decide 20 mm and how many bars I can provide. Here 16 mm and how many bars I can provide. Actually, you don't have to separate AST1 and AST2 here. Only if there is a sufficient time, you can again split it into, because in the design, I want to know how many bars are there in the tension zone. I'm not bothered about how much will be AST1 and how much will be AST2 and all in the design problems. You see, somebody is unmuted. Again and again, I have to go there and unmute all. Now you start typing your numbers. 1 second, 1 second. I'll just type something there. I'll type something and you can start. 1 second. 1 second. Don't type anything. Whatever you have typed, it is gone. Now you should type. 1 second. All of you enter your attendance. Now, whatever number appears after this statement, those are present. Type your USN division. That's all. Type your USN and division. So after whatever I have typed there, below those numbers will come now. Only those are present. Now you can do that. Okay. Now here, now here in the examination, what you can do here is directly you got AST. You didn't have to calculate AST1 and AST2 separately. Once you find out direct value, now here only you can decide. Let us say 20 mm bars I am going to use. You can find out the number of bars. Let us say I am going to use 16 mm bars here. You can find out how many bars you have to provide in the tension, compression zone. Rest all steps are same. All the remaining steps you have to follow as usual. These tables are helping you to find out the AST and ASC values without spending much time. Okay. Any questions here? Now you can see other tables. Other tables. If in the examination, if this table is given, that is combination, material combination is different. Observe this one. If the material combination is 520, Fe 500 and M20 is given, you have to refer this table, page number 90. See this. Page number 90, table number 54. Table number is 54. Okay. If the combination is again.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, tell me. Okay, tell me.
Sir, attendance is only visible at type to Umesh Patel, sir. It is showing, sir. Send message privately.
There is no problem. You can do that because anyway it will come there. If you want, I will make it 1 second. That is also
Yes,
not a problem. 1 second. Because here again I have to go back there and check it. It is coming like this. Right now you check it. Is it all right now? Privately it is coming. No problem.
Sir, no, now also it is showing the same. Only we can text you.
No problem.
Okay, sir.
No problem. I will adjust it. You can type it. No problem. It will appear when I see the text file. See, when I open the text file, I can get all these numbers. Because right now I'm not able to adjust that one. I don't know how to adjust that. Anyway, it is going to come, no problem. I'm trying to do that, but anyway, type it. Those who are present here, go on typing your USN and division. See, mainly I want a division and USN, that's all. Your name, if it is missing, usually you enter with your name. Display should be your name. Then you type USN and division, that's all. I don't know how to set this one right now. That is why as it is. Let it be as it is. Anyway, it will appear in the text file. I need to check that one. So any questions are here for this particular. So in this way, you should use the table for singly reinforced design also, which I will show you later on. I already completed a singly reinforced beam design. I'll take that example Again, I will calculate mu by BD square there. That is still more easier. That is still more easier than this, because you don't have to find PC and all in single reinforced beams. Percentage compression still will not be there. D dash by D will not be there. So there also you can use SP16 to find out AST value. Shear reinforcement, stirrups and all, it will not, there is no change. There is no change. You have to use the same method. But for finding AST in single reinforced beams, AST and ASC in doubly reinforced beams or in slabs, everywhere, wherever AST is required, it is better to use your SP16 codebook only. Like that, many places, many this one tables are there apart from this, which will reduce your calculation time in the examination. So a lot of things are there. See, what I will do is I need to design a T-beam now. T-beam is very commonly used. How to understand a T-beam, how to design this one. When do you consider a beam as a T-beam? When do you consider beam as a rectangular beam? All those things I will start in the next week. Only 3 days are there. Only 2 periods will be available for me, I think, in the next week. I will solve that one. After that, you can move to the design of slabs. 4th module. 4 and 5 modules will be left. Again, I will be repeating. If at all students are ready to come from November 17th in the physical mode also, these will be explained. And I'm going to save this video also. You can go back and check it if you have followed it. It's well and good. Otherwise, once again, you watch this video so that you'll understand how to use this SP16 for doubly reinforced beams. Any questions here? Anybody has got anything to say here regarding this subject? Right now, till now, any problem is there? You tell me. I'm checking your papers individually. Whatever you have sent, individually, it is going to take time now. 150, 112 papers are there. And I'm going to check how many students have only come for the test, not for the classes. That also I have to check. Every PDF I have to open, and I cannot take the printout of all those. The college will not permit. I have to just open it and I have to check. I have to give the marks. This work I can assign it to any student also. Any student can do that because you will be knowing the final answers here. So you can easily say that this is correct. This is theory questions are correct. Most of them have copied, I think. Nobody is checking in your house. So everybody opens this notes and he is writing the answers. So theory question I'm not checking because all are correct only. Everyone has written theory questions correctly. Some students have committed some mistakes in the problems. So I have to check everything. It is going to take time. Otherwise, if they ask me to give tomorrow only, then I am helpless. My plan is to check each and every paper, and I have to tell him that this is where you are going wrong. Don't commit this mistake in the final exam. With that intention, I have to check every paper. Otherwise, he will commit the same mistake in the final exam also. If I give him full marks just to become popular, I will check each and every paper now. Theory questions, you think that you got full marks. No need to check any theory questions. So anything else you want to say here? Is any questions related to today's topic? Is it clear or any doubts are there? How to use this table? Still a long way to go. Usually whenever we enter the examination hall, if we see that the student is referring continuously SP16 here and there, we know that this fellow is going to get full marks because he is saving lot of time in the examination. 3 hours will be more than sufficient for that fellow. If a student is using calculator continuously and are not bothered about SP16, it is very probability of scoring full marks is very less, even if you know all the answers. So the choice is yours. Try to download the SP16, try to see it every now and then, read what is there in that. Even though whatever I told you, don't worry about only that much. You just check what is there in that book, what and all I can get. Keep on checking that SP16 whenever you are free. Last time it has happened, that's why I'm telling you. Last time, one student was knowing every answer, all questions, all answers, but still he could not get full marks. So that should not happen. So all of you, I think you have typed your numbers here, USN, because I want to end this class in the next week. It will be T-beam design. T-beam design. There also you have to use code books. Should I end this, because I think everyone has typed, no?
Yes, sir.
If everyone has typed that, I need to check, because host only. Okay. If everyone has typed it, I will end this session. So I see I'm going to put this one in the WhatsApp, this PDF. You can just go through the same problem. You can go through the same solution, and I'll give you some practice problems. Practice problems from old papers. You can refer, from the KLE, our engineering college website, download the question papers. Download the RCC question paper and try to solve module 3 problems. Wherever module 3 problems are there, you try to solve them. But usually what happens is, it is doubly reinforced and T-beam. Choice will be yours. Or sometimes it is singly reinforced and doubly reinforced. Two questions will come. You'll be knowing both the solutions. That time you have to decide which one is going to take less time. You try that problem. I think everybody has typed. Those who are there, everyone has typed, because attendance is a big problem in online mode. Those who were there, when I checked this email ID, maximum students have appeared for the test. Only 1 or 2 are absent. But in the class, it is always less than 100 attendance. Some fellows have already left, I think, after typing their USN here.